I'm 88 years old, and I didn't understand what silence was doing to my marriage until there was no one left to hear me say it out loud. I'm not saying this to make peace with myself. That ship has mostly sailed. I'm saying it because time has a way of stripping things down, and what's left is usually the truth you avoided when you were busy living. Most days now are quiet. Not the peaceful kind people imagine when they talk about old age. It's the kind of quiet that settles into your bones. The house still stands, the clocks still work, but nothing is waiting for me anymore. I sit at the kitchen table where we used to drink coffee, and sometimes I catch myself listening for a sound that won't come. Her name was Margaret. We were married for 52 years. People hear that number and assume it means something solid, something successful. I used to think so too. I thought longevity meant strength. I thought staying meant loving. I didn't understand how much could be lost without anyone leaving. When I look back now, I don't see shouting matches or slammed doors. I see evenings where we talked about groceries instead of ourselves. I see mornings where we read the paper instead of each other's faces. I see long stretches where nothing seemed wrong enough to fix. That's how it happens, not with explosions, with pauses. When we were young, we talked all the time, not about big ideas, just about the day, what annoyed us, what made us laugh. We were poor then, small apartment, thin walls, but we were loud with each other. We filled the space. I was working construction in my 20s, long hours, hard on the body. I came home tired and proud. Margaret worked part-time at the library when the kids were small. She had this way of telling stories about people she met, the regulars, the ones who pretended not to need help finding books. I listened then, I really did. Somewhere in my 30s, I decided listening was optional. Not consciously. I didn't wake up and choose distance. I just started answering instead of asking, nodding instead of engaging, telling myself we'd talk later when things slowed down. They never did. I thought being a good husband meant providing, paying bills on time, fixing what broke, coming home every night. I didn't see that she needed more than my presence. She needed my attention. There were moments, I can see them clearly now. She'd start a sentence and stop halfway through. I didn't ask her to finish. She'd mention feeling tired in a way that wasn't about sleep. I told her everyone gets tired. She'd sit with me on the couch and sigh, and I'd turn the volume up just a little. None of it felt cruel at the time. That's the dangerous part. It felt normal. The kids grew up, life filled with routines, work, dinners, repairs, birthdays remembered but not deeply felt. We became efficient together, a good team. That's what I told people. Teams don't always talk about their fears. By the time I noticed something was wrong, it had already been wrong for years. The silence had settled in like furniture, always there, hard to move. Margaret stopped telling me about her days. I didn't notice right away. When I did, I told myself she was just quieter now. People change, I thought. Marriages mature. That's what I called it, maturity. The truth was we were avoiding anything that might take effort, anything that might open something we didn't know how to close again. Silence felt safer than honesty. Then she got sick. Nothing dramatic at first. Doctor visits, medications, adjustments. I went with her, sat beside her, held her hand. I thought that counted for something, and maybe it did. But even then, we didn't talk. I remember one afternoon in the hospital. She was looking out the window, light coming in from the side. She said very quietly, "Do you ever miss us?" I asked her what she meant. She shook her head and said it didn't matter. That was the moment. I know it now. That was the door cracking open. I let it close. She passed away 3 years later. Peacefully, they said. I was holding her hand. I told her I loved her. I meant it. I always did. But love left unspoken has a way of shrinking. After the funeral, people checked in. Then they stopped. The house got quieter. That's when the memories started talking back. I realized how many conversations we never had. How many times I chose comfort over connection. How often I assumed there would be time later to explain myself, to ask her what she needed, to tell her I was scared too. Later is a lie we tell ourselves when today feels inconvenient. I can't fix it now. That's the part people don't like to hear. There's no resolution waiting at the end of this story, no lesson that turns things around. She's gone. And the version of me who could have changed things is gone too. All I have left are the quiet mornings and the understanding that silence is not neutral. It doesn't preserve peace. It erodes it. If you're listening to this and there's someone in your life you've grown quiet with, I won't tell you what to do. I don't have that right. I'll just tell you what I wish I had known. Love doesn't disappear when you stop talking about it, but it does fade, slowly, politely, without asking permission. And one day you realize the space between you is full of all the things you never said. I don't have much time left. I know that. I spend it remembering and trying not to regret more than I already do. If this meant something to you, sit with it. That's all. I'll be here at the table, listening to the quiet I helped create.